Okay, it's official. Okay, well, find a comfortable seat, wherever that might be. And feel your feet connected with the earth, the surface below, your body supported. So happy to see all of your faces and have you here this morning. Namaste. Go ahead and close your eyes. And we'll take a bit of time to center, beginning with noticing our breath. Just allowing it to be natural, however it is. The breath is such an important part of yoga. In fact, it's said if you can breathe, you can practice yoga. So we're grateful to all be here breathing. And maybe place your hand on your chest and notice the gentle rise and fall with your breath. Very grateful for our breath. It just happens without any effort. And that is pretty amazing. And at this time, I'd invite you to place in your heart someone or something for which you're feeling grateful. You can place both hands over your heart if you would like. It's up to you. Or both hands can be in the lap. Taking moments not only during yoga, but throughout the day to just pause and consider who or what we're feeling gratitude or have gratitude for. It's just a lovely way to keep us grounded, centered. And find a bit of peace. You can keep your hands where they are, relax them in your lap with your palms down. And we'll take some time to scan the body. Just noticing, beginning with the toes and the feet and the ankles. Moving up both legs, just notice any areas of pain or discomfort or tension. The seat, the front of the torso, the back of the torso, shoulders, arms, hands, and fingers, your neck, and your head. And in a moment, we'll take a couple of deep inhales and just visualize sending that healing breath to any area of the body that's in need or throughout the whole body. And then on the exhale, releasing that discomfort. So let's go ahead and do that a couple of times. Breathing in. And out. Repeat that a couple more times. It's a powerful and effective practice. Our mantra today is I release worry and fear. I invite peace into my heart. There's much in the world that might cause us worry and perhaps fear. And sometimes that can be overwhelming. So part of our practice is learning how to take time, a moment to release that, to just bring more peace into our heart and into our being. And one way to do that is with the practice of Mudra and Pranayama. So for our Mudra today, bring the pointer finger and the middle finger toward the palm. It may or may not touch. This is Vishnu Mudra, and it's a gesture to support balance. And you only need to do it at this time with your right hand. And then we'll bring this into a breath practice called Nadi Shodhana. And it's called alternate nostril breath. We have, there are many breath practices, but this is a good one. It's a little bit odd if you've never practiced before, but just hang in there and let's give it a go. So bring your thumb to your right nostril. So your hand is kind of up above your nose and you're bringing your thumb to the right nostril and just gently press there. Now exhale through your left nostril. Then inhale through your left nostril. Bring the ring finger to the left nostril. Release the thumb from the right nostril and exhale on the right side. Inhale on the right. Bring the thumb in, release the left nostril, exhale on the left. So inhale, exhale the right. If your arm gets tired, you can support it with your hand. Or you can explore practicing this without the use of the finger and the thumb. Go ahead and complete one more cycle, inhaling on the left, exhaling on the right. And then gently lower your hand down to your lap, releasing the mudra with palms up. Sometimes this can make you want to grab a Kleenex. It can make your nose run a little bit. So if that's something you're experiencing, know that is pretty typical. So Nadi Shodhana, it's a breath practice. It's very, very balancing. And just bringing balance into our lives when things can feel like they're tipping one way or the other. It's a beautiful way to center and practice breathing that can not only just bring balance to your space and your inner being, but it also helps to clear the channels, to just make space for balance. So let's go ahead now and take another breath in and out. And we'll begin with our warm-ups. I always feel like I'm teaching gym class or something when I say warm-ups, but that's what they are. So you can extend both legs just slightly and we'll just curl and splay the fingers and toes. Nice and easy, nice and gently. They might be a little chilly. Hopefully you have your grippy socks on, or your feet are staying nice and warm. You can even bring the hands together and rub them to create a little heat there around your hands, your fingers, the bones in your hand, the wrists. Just curling and splaying. And then we'll rotate the wrists and the ankles. And pause and go the other direction. And then bringing the insides of the feet together. Take the soles toward each other so you feel that gentle stretch on the outside of the ankle. And then release. And we'll do that again. And then one more time. And then bring your feet to the earth. And as you come up on your toes, stretching the top of that foot, take your hands and point them toward the ceiling. So your arms are at your side, your elbows, tops of your arms at your sides, pressing out. And then release the feet to the floor. Hands can go parallel to the floor. And then take the fingers toward the earth as you bring up the front of the feet. And then back to neutral. So up on the toes. Hands pointing upward, lower. Lift the front part of the feet, take fingers toward the earth. Just move through that at your pace. You don't have to pause and hold one or the other. It's just moving, bringing movement into the joints, stretching some little muscles around there. And then the next time you come back to neutral, we'll pause there. And then go ahead and just bend and extend one leg, warming up the knee joint. You could bring the heel in toward the chair or to the outside of the chair, just kind of bending it in different ways, warming it up. And then we'll go to the other side. Being mindful, different joints, different issues, different needs sometimes. And then we'll lift the, go to the first leg, lift that foot off the floor and just rotate that hip. And if you'd like to lean back in your chair for support, you can go the other direction, or you can engage your core and sit up nice and tall. Just bringing a little movement into the hip. Now we'll go to the other side. Some little hip circles. And you can get in a little core work if you want to. You want to help support the back and then lower that foot down. Great. All right, let's take the heels of our hands and to our hip creases, and we'll just do some nice gentle torso circles or stirring the pot. So keeping the spine nice and long, so we're not dropping the head or bending at the waist. We're hinging from the hips and coming forward, side, back, side. It's like you're drawing a circle with your head. Or it might be more of an ellipsis or an oval. This is a lovely way to warm up the spine. Then the next time that you come to center, we'll go back the other direction. And we'll come back to center. Boy, that let's just take a moment to massage our shoulders. So take your hand to your opposite shoulder and just give that shoulder some squeezes. Just maybe use your fingertips to kind of massage around in the back there of the shoulder. And then move to the other side. I'll just bring in some shoulder rolls towards the back, nice and slow, really feeling into that rotation. And then pause and go back the other direction. Let the shoulders up nice and high, all the way up to your ears, just really squeezing while maintaining a long spine. And then release them and bring them down as if you're holding a 20-pound weight in each hand. Let's do it again. In. And out. And one more time. Bring the fingertips to your shoulders and just like a little daddy long legs with your fingertips. We'll just do some gentle circles with the elbows. Depending on your shoulder, your circles may stay small. You can make them bigger if you would like. Now reverse and go back the other way. And then just go ahead and allow the shoulders to relax. Bring those heels back to the hip creases and we'll inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, round the back. In and out. So just move through these. You've probably done these hundreds of times, maybe thousands. Just move through them slowly. And if one part feels really good, just hang out there. And when you're lifting your heart, just be careful not to throw the neck back. When you're rounding your spine, it's okay to bring your chin to your chest. Just move through a few more of these. And then when you're ready, you can come to center, come to neutral, and we'll take one ear toward that shoulder. Being mindful not to let the other shoulder come along. It needs to stay put. Just be here for a moment, not straining, feeling a stretch. You might notice some tension, but not strain. Then we'll come back to center and we'll do the same on the other side. Just finding that sweet spot where you feel a release, a stretch, but no pain. And we'll come back to center. We'll revisit the first side and then take our gaze downward toward the shoulder. And just being here, maintaining that long spine. Maybe even touching where you're feeling that with your other hand, your neck, your shoulder. Bringing awareness in. And take your gaze forward, bring the head back up to center, and we'll go back to the second side, taking the ear toward it and the gaze downward. And finding that spot where you feel the stretch, but there's no strain. And bring the gaze forward and head up. All right, take the ear to the first side, gaze downward, draw a smile across your collarbone, gaze outward, gaze back downward, drawing that smile back. And you can just move very slowly through these, going back and forth. Should never take the neck backwards doing this kind of thing, bringing the chin down, going back and forth. Okay, unless you have a concern with your cervical spine. And then when you're ready, come back to center. And we'll begin with just finding our Tadasana, mountain. You can practice this seated or standing. It's totally up to you. The cues are the same, so you can decide where you want to be. I'm a little chilly in my t-shirt, so I'm going to stand. It might help me warm up a little bit. All right, so take your feet about hip distance apart and root down in the ball of the foot under the big toe mound, the little toe mound, and the heel. Okay. Root down, pressing into the earth, feeling the legs engage. Standing, put a slight bend in the knee. Drawing in the core, relaxing the shoulders down and back. Arms hanging loosely at sides, palms forward, and then just lower the chin slightly. This is Tadasana. Posture of stability, strength, stillness, and I would add serenity. Unmoved. Unmoved by the chaos around it that may occur. And then from here, we'll slowly bring our arms out with palms facing downward. And when you get to shoulder height, flip the palms upward and bring them up high above your head, depending on your shoulder. And you can interlace the fingers or you can just bring them up high. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to do a nice bend to one side. Just bringing some length into the side body. Just being there for a moment and then coming back to center and going to the other side. So I know you can't see my hands. I don't have them interlaced right now. That was a little intense for my shoulders. And then back to center. Then we'll go to the other side and let one arm drop. So you're just reaching over with the one arm that's extended. And then bring both arms back up to center. We'll go to the other side and let that arm drop. Just reaching, creating so much expansion there. And then bringing that arm up, both arms up, palms together, coming down to heart center. Bringing some warmth into the body as we begin our practice. So today we'll be exploring some peaceful warrior and humble warrior. And I will share with you some options for your foundation. Once you build your foundation, then we're all set because your foundation will not change between the two postures. So if you're practicing seated, you have a couple of options. It depends on how you're feeling about your stability. You could scoot over a little bit and then take one leg back like this, if you wanted to do that. Or you can sit sideways in the chair. And take a foot out to the side for extended back. I personally find this to be more stable with the, it just feels, but it kind of depends on your chair too. So these are two options for your foundation if you're sitting, and you can just have that leg out 90 degrees, or you can extend it either way. But you want to be able to press this foot into the earth. If you're standing, then you could flip your chair around to have it in front of you. Just in case you might want that. And you will take step one leg back. The front knee is bent. And you're facing the chair. So in Warrior Two, when we face the side, it's a little different. But this, we're facing the front. With that front knee bent and this back leg stepping back. Now, if you want to take your legs like wider apart, more like you're on railroad tracks and a balance beam, much more stable and actually gentler on your hips as well. So you have your foundation. You're strong, stable. Now, what about your arms? You can have your palms at heart center. You can have them out W. You could bring to like goalpost, or you can bring them upward. Depends on your shoulders and how they're feeling today. So we'll inhale and take our arms upward. And we'll just take a few breaths right here as you're holding this posture. I'll face you. Okay. And just breathing in and out. Feet rooted into the earth, whether you're standing or seated. Legs are engaged. Facing forward. Arms wherever it feels best in your body. Now let's let the legs relax, straighten the front knee if you're standing, and bring the high hands to heart center for a moment. And from here, we'll move to humble. So humble warrior is like a bow. So you can bring your hands back behind you. You can interlace them or not. Again, honor your shoulders. And we simply bow forward. So the front leg is fully bent 90 degrees for Warrior One, but when we bow, we straighten it, not hyperextending the knee, but just having a smaller bend there. And again, it's nice. It can be nice to have the chair there because you can always place a hand on it for support. And then we'll come to standing. Let the legs relax for a little bit. So we'll be moving between the two postures. So check in with your foundation again to make sure it's where you want it to be and feels good in your body. And we'll inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, straightening that front leg, bowing, keeping the spine long. So there's a tendency to want to drop the neck. Okay, inhale, Warrior One. Exhale. Breathing in. And you can do this at your pace, moving in and out of these postures at your pace. Building strength in the legs. But this is a balance practice as well. So we have peaceful warrior and humble warrior. And then the next time you come up, if you're standing, go ahead and bring that back foot forward. And if you're sitting, bring both, come to center. Just take a moment here to check in with our body and then move to the other side. So now you will step back with the opposite leg than you did the first time. Front knee is bent. Back leg extended if that works for you. Feet, soles of the feet pressing into the earth. Now you can bring, we're just going to hold it here for a moment. Take a couple of breaths just to notice how it's feeling on this side, to check in with our foundation to make sure it's working for us. And you can decide where you want your arms to be. Maybe I'm feeling a little Wonder Woman today, the W arms. Okay. And then go ahead and straighten that front leg, or relax the legs if you're seated. And then we'll move into humble. So bringing hands back and keeping the spine long. And you're not bending forward. I'm certainly not touching. This is not like head to knee pose or anything like that. Thank goodness. And we're just coming forward in a slight bow. Feet still pressing into the earth, supporting us. And then we'll inhale, come up to warrior two, bending the front leg. Exhale to humble with the front leg straightened, but a slight bend in the knee. So go ahead and move between these two with your breath. Take it nice and slow. If one is feeling really, really good, hang out there. You don't have to, you make it your yoga. You don't have to do anything I say. See what's feeling good in your body. I can't remember the phrase that Ginger used at the beginning, but she has her own word for her practice. I liked it. You got to make it your own. And then the next time you come up to warrior two, bring the hands to heart center. Step the back leg forward. Or come back to center, practicing on the chair. And we'll come back to mountain, Tadasana. And then from here, you can just take the legs a little bit apart if you'd like. Just to get a nice, steady, solid base. Knees slightly bent. Just going to explore some arm movements that will help prepare us and warm up our arms for some other things we'll be doing in class. So we'll bring one arm out to the side, so palm facing downward until you get to the shoulder, and then bring it up. I'm actually going to sit down for this one, but you can do it standing and just, you could be able to see me better if I'm sitting down. So bring that arm up and just touch the top of your head. And then release it. And we'll inhale and bring our arm upward. Now see about touching the back of your head. So the elbows stay, may be in a different place, may not, and release that. And again, raising the arm up, palm facing downward till you get to the shoulder, then you flip it upward. This time, see if you can touch the back of your neck. And then we'll release that. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So we'll inhale, bring the other arm upward. Exhale, touch the top of the head. Inhale, lower. Then inhale, bring the arm up again, this time touching the back of the head. And then releasing. So be gentle. Yours might look different than mine depending on what's happening with your shoulder today. And then bring the up, do it one more time, and this time explore touching the back of the neck. And then bring the arm down. Now let's just bring them forward a little bit. And down. Kind of shake them out. Let those shoulders, do some shoulder rolls. And now we'll move between Tadasana and some forward folds. So you forward fold from a standing position. A half fold is like bringing your body into a 90-degree angle. Okay, so that's a half fold if you're standing. And then at some point, if you want to take it into more of a forward fold, you can certainly do that. If you're seated, a half fold is more like coming to a 45-degree angle. And then back up. Whereas a full fold, if you're seated, would be more of having your torso be parallel to the floor. And then you can drop your head if you want to. So consider your body and how it's feeling. We'll just move through some gentle folds that way. Okay. You can also use a chair when you fold forward. And you can bring your hands to the chair. And that can be a really nice support because sometimes folks can get a little dizzy if they're dropping their head too far. So be mindful of that. It doesn't matter how far you drop your head. So let's inhale, take our arms up. Exhale, come to a half fold. Inhale, so. Exhale, come into a half fold, taking the arms behind you like you're about to fly. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, let's take a nice little twist to one side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, nice little twist to the other side. Inhale, hands to sky. Exhale, half fold. Inhale, hands to sky. Exhale, half fold, arms reaching back. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, hands to heart center. You might notice that that's time that I'm bending over and coming back up. I'll bend my knees a little to help give myself a little oomph to do that. It's a little safer, gentler on the knees and the back that way. So now take the legs wide. So standing like this, and you can have your chair in front of you as well. Oh, it's just a nice option. And the toes are kind of facing out at a 45-degree angle. See, you are using that geometry you learned in high school. So, and then a slight bend in the knee, just a slight bend in the knee. Seated, same. But your knees are, you can have your feet out a little bit more. It doesn't have to be at a 90-degree angle. And then bring your arms out to sides. This is Tadasana or star. Now from star, we'll move into Devyasana, also known as goddess. And so from there, we bend the knees. So if you're seated, you'll bring your feet in a little closer and come into goalpost arms. If you're standing, you just, it's like a little tiny squat into goalpost arms. And I do mean tiny because you have to honor, I mean, this is, I don't know what your needs are like, but so I'm not doing anything deeper than that because my body's like, no, I don't think so. And I honor my body. And then we come into Tadasana. So we'll just move between the two. So let's take a lovely inhale in. Beautiful, bright, shining stars. And exhale to goddess. Devyasana, like a diva. Inhale. Stars and divas. Exhale. And if you're standing, you're finding that's bothering your knee, move to seated. Just because you start out doing something one way, doesn't mean you can't switch. We know there's no pain in yoga. And if something hurts, we find a different way to do it. And just move between the two with your breath. And the next time you come to Tadasana or star, allow your arms to come down. Your shoulders are so happy. They're so grateful. Shake those arms out. You can give a little rub up and down each arm, especially the top. I can't think of any names for body parts today. That's okay. That's why we have pictures. All right, so that's a little movement, a little dynamic movement between two postures, just like we did peaceful and humble warrior. So, well, an accessible yoga class isn't a flow where during the whole class, we're just moving from one thing to another. We're able to explore and find foundations and movements that support our body and just move in and out of a posture or move between two. And it's all yoga and not one is any better than the other. It's just moving the body gently with the breath. We're good. Okay, so a little sunbird, little Chakravakasana before we move to wrap our class seated. And Chakravakasana can be practiced seated. And let's all come to Tadasana, mountain. We'll begin there. Now, the only difference in the cueing for whether you're practicing seated or standing is that if you're seated, your extended leg will actually go out forward and your heel will be on the floor. That is what your extended leg will be doing. If you're standing, your extended leg will be just stepping back a little bit. This isn't a big one like the other, just coming back a little bit on your toes. So I'll just say extended leg. It'll look differently whether you're seated or standing. So let's find Tadasana. Nice, strong base to start from. Rooting down into the three corners of the feet. Nice. Drawing in the waistband, relaxing the shoulders down and back. Bring the chin down a bit. Right. Now, extend one leg and be here. You have your chair to support you for balance because now we're balancing. And then extend upward the opposite arm from the extended leg. So if the right leg is extended, you'll bring up the left arm. If the left arm or vice versa. Left leg is extended. Okay. Now from here, really root down into that supporting leg, the one where the whole foot is touching the earth. Root down there, find your focal point, and just bring that extended leg off the floor an inch. If you didn't feel balanced before, you will now. And then lower that extended leg to the earth. Bring the arm down and bring the extended leg back to center. And now we'll do the other side. So find mountain posture, standing nice and tall. Now extend the opposite leg. Now you have to remember which one you started with. You'll probably know because your supporting leg probably feels like you've had a little more work going on. Okay. So we have mountain, we step, extend one leg. Raise the opposite arm. Find your focal point as you're rooting down into that supporting leg and just raise those back or front, wherever. Raise the extended leg off the earth. It can be a ½ inch. It doesn't matter. And it's fine to rest fingertips on a chair. You're actually going to be able to better experience the benefits of the posture. And then bring that extended leg to the earth and the arm down. And come back to Tadasana. Kind of shake each of the legs out. Seated or standing, shake your legs out. Get a lot of work supporting you in a balanced posture. And now we'll all come to seated. Whether you're seated on your chair or your mat. Looks like everyone's on a chair today. And we will take one arm out to the side, kind of like what we did before. Flip the palm. And then just bring it up. Keep your elbow out to the side as much as your shoulder allows. And just touch your fingers to your head. Take the other arm outward. It's going to bend and come downward though. And the back of your hand can touch the base of your spine. Kind of in that small of your back. Nice long spine, engaging your core. Now, can you move your fingers toward each other? We're not necessarily going to have one hand hanging under the other, but as you just move them toward each other to where it feels safe and okay in your body, do you feel your heart open? You feel your heart rise. This is lovely to do with a strap. And so the back, we might be here. I mean, we started here and then we just inch our way toward each other. But at some point, our shoulders are going to say that's far enough. And we stop there. We find the balance, the spot, the sweet spot where there's effort, but there's ease. And now we'll just gently walk our hands away from each other and come out the way we came in. Do some nice little shoulder rolls. The arms move. Octopus arms. Feels kind of good. And now we'll do it on the other side. This is Gomukhasana, or cow face pose. And there's a story there, and I'll tell it to you next time we practice it. Bring the other arm outward, flip the palm, and come up to the top of your head. So if you're using a strap, yeah, Your strap will just be hanging behind you, kind of lined up with your spine. And then take the other arm outward, bend it, bring it downward. And if you're using a strap, it can grab that strap. I don't know about grab it or grip it, but take a gentle hold of that strap. All right, so this might be where you stay. You might think, yeah, I'm really feeling this. If you want to start exploring, bringing the fingers toward each other, you can. And once the sides will be different, you'll probably be able to find more movement in one position on the side of the body than the other. But you're looking for that spot like, okay, there we go. There's the tension. And that's where I'll pause. Notice I said tension, but not pain, not strain. You just find kind of the work in it. And this is a wonderful, this has a lot of practical aspects to it as well. Just times you have to reach behind your head for things, behind your back. And we're just going to gently, first of all, can you let your arms relax? And then you continue in slow motion, bring your arms out the way we went in and to your sides. We'll do one more seated twist before we move into Shavasana. So you're seated on your chair. Take one hip back a little bit. And then whatever hip you took back, place the opposite hand on that same knee. And then we'll go ahead and twist toward that. This is a twist that is much safer for the lower back. By moving that hip back, it takes the lower back out of the twist, and you can experience a deeper twist in the middle and upper part of your torso. And then when you're ready, gently bring that hand forward. Come back to center, scoot that hip up to find your Tadasana. Now we'll explore it on the other side. So take the other hip back. Take the opposite arm, hand on that knee, and we'll go ahead and twist from here. Nice tall spine. So what often happens with twists, sometimes people will feel them in their lower back. They might be, going a little too far, or they just might have a sensitive lower back. And this is a nice way to get the benefits of a twist in the middle and upper part. And then we'll just gently bring that hand back. Bring both hands to the knees, bring that hip forward, and come into Mountain Tadasana. Just invite you to close your eyes for just a moment and notice any sensations in your body. Maybe doing another body scan like we did at the beginning. Just a quick one to just notice. Open your eyes. And my body scan said I would like a wide-legged forward fold. So I'm going to hinge forward. Just come forward a little bit. Maybe yours didn't do that. So you go ahead and find your sweet, special Shavasana space, a place where you can let your body totally relax. It might be in the chair you're sitting on. It might be on your mat on the floor. It might be on your couch. It might be on your bed, wherever you can just totally relax your body. If you are practicing Shavasana on a chair, I highly recommend a little footstool, a little something. You can just use a block or a couple of pillows just a little something that allows your legs to splay and your feet to rest on the outsides. You have to find the spot where it works the best. So you have a slight bend in your knee. Scoot all the way to the back of your chair, or if you're lying down, so that you are supported. Go ahead and close your eyes. This is a time for your body to rest and absorb the benefits of the practice. Just allow your legs to feel heavy, soft, and supported. Allow your torso to relax, knowing it is supported by the surface behind it or below it. Let your shoulders slouch. Let them soften. Your arms like noodles with your palms facing upward. Let your neck soften. Your scalp, forehead, the area around your eyes, the area around your ears, your cheeks and your jaw. Even letting that lower jaw open slightly. I'll tone the bells when it is time for us to begin closing our practice for today. Bring gentle movement into your fingers and your toes, that's all. We'll just gently and slowly moving. Maybe some ankle circles. Just being right where we are. Go ahead and bend one knee and then the other. We're not sitting up quite yet. Just bend one knee and then the other. Your feet are on the surface. And if you're lying down, gently roll to one side and rest there for a moment. And then extending the top leg, use your hands to press yourself slowly and gently and lovingly to a seated position. Returning to where we began at the beginning of class. And we'll inhale and take our hands to sky. And exhale and just float downward. Breathing in and gathering up all the goodness. And breathing out, releasing what is not serving us. As I release worry and fear, I invite peace to my heart. Inhale, bringing the palms together above your beautiful crown. And as you exhale, slowly bring them toward your heart center, gently brushing your face with your fingertips as you do so. It is always an honor and a delight to practice yoga with you. I'm so grateful for you being here today. May you all be safe, may you be well, and may you be filled with peace. Thank you. There's no hurry. Take your time.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you are so welcome. Go ahead and stop the recording.